Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Classic Gamer 74. I'm your host, Anthony Gamer. First, I want to apologize for the big space between episodes. As many of you know, I haven't been feeling the greatest, but I'm going to try to get these in a little more often because making these videos really does help me feel a lot better, so just letting you know that. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing handheld games and consoles. Now, handheld games have come a long way since the late 70s, where we had games like Electronic Quarterback. As you see, I have it pictured up there. And even handheld consoles have become a new thing. Since the days of Game Boy, they've come a long way as well. Now, the Game Boy is arguably one of the first handheld game consoles where you could play multiple games on it. But at that point, you could only play Game Boy games. Well, in recent years, they have made handheld game consoles where you can play multiple game systems from different time periods, whether they be other handheld game consoles like the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Sega Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket, etc. And you could play old game consoles on there as well, like the Atari 2600, Nintendo, all the way up to PS1. And don't forget the classic computers, although that sometimes, it's kind of hard to imagine playing a computer game sometimes on a handheld console without a keyboard, of course. So today I'm going to talk about 5 handheld games and consoles, give you a short review of each of them, and best of all, I'm going to show you where you can purchase them for yourself. So without further ado, let's get into the games.
Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about today is the Anbernic RG351V. This was the first one that I ever got, and this was a present from my wife. Now, this one was quite expensive when it first came out. I believe she paid $125 for it. Nowadays, you can pick this up for around $30, $40, $50 at the most, I think, on AliExpress. Now, I'll go ahead and turn it on. Now, it's got some cool features. You can see you got your D-pad, you got a controller, the select and start buttons. You have 4 buttons here on the back. You have 4 shoulder buttons. You have your volume control here. Your power, the reset button, and this one here that you use to go to menus and stuff. Now, when you get this in the mail, you're going to have 2 card slots here on the side. Now, the top one is for the system's information, and the bottom one here is where you put your ROMs, games, drivers, stuff like that. Okay. Now, word of advice, and I learned this the hard way: do not use the stock system that's built into it, and do not use the stock SD cards. The ones that come with it are junk. And yeah, I learned that the hard way. It got to the point where the volume wasn't working, the system itself wasn't working, and I almost threw it away. I really did. I actually threw it in the garbage, and I watched a video by a gentleman named Javi that I'll discuss in a moment. And in that video, he explains how to fix these things or to get them to their optimal place. So, yeah, again, keep that in mind. Do not use the stock SD cards. You can pretty much throw them out, or you could copy them. Again, I'm going to link a video that shows how to set this up, and it works for this one and the next one I'm going to talk about. So let's go ahead and turn it on. I'll show you what it's got with it. Okay, let's start up. Loads pretty quickly. And again, Arcos, I'll discuss Arcos. That is the best front-end emulation system to use. Okay, emulation station. Now it begins. Okay, so now you can see that it's got several different game systems in it. We have Fairchild Channel F. We have Capcom 1, 2, and 3. American Laser, MAME, Atari 2600, 5200, 7800, Lynx, PC Engine, Family Computer, Famicom, Famicom Disk System, Super Famicom, NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Nintendo 64 DD, Virtual Boy, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game & Watch, Nintendo DS, Sega SG-1000, Sega Master System, Mega Drive, Genesis, 32X, Dreamcast, Game Gear, Neo Geo, PS1, PSP, Intellivision, ColecoVision, Vectrix, MSX, Commodore 64, Odyssey 2 or the video pack, Wolfenstein, Easy RPG, Scum VM, and then you get into your options. And of course, RetroArch is with it too. Now, the games themselves, most of these games do work, but I'll warn you, like, even though some game systems are available, they may not actually work. Like, I can't get any of the Amiga CD games to work, and the Channel F aren't really working, but I think it's just a issue of drivers and stuff like that. So what I've been using it for lately is I've been trying, now going to my favorites, you can see I got all kinds of stuff in my favorites. What I've been working on playing on this lately is I've been replaying, and trying is kind of right, to replay the classic Pokemon games. Like right now I'm in the middle of playing Sapphire, and Gold, Yellow, Red, Blue, and they work great. So actually all the systems that are in here work really good. I mean, if the system is working, like I said, you have to fool around with them a couple times to get stuff to work, but overall I'm very pleased with it. I can't find enough good things to say about this handheld system. All right, one of the cool things about this is that this actual system itself does come with built-in Wi-Fi, which is really cool for if you want to scrape. Like if you want to go, like for instance, I'll show you, go into, now in these, of course these ones here are really kind of unknown, but you can scrape box art, you can do screenshots, you can make this as nice as you want it to be. I mean, have as much showing. It's up to your personal preference, but there are easy ways to scrape. You can change the theme too. Now this theme is probably my favorite. A lot of people like to use the Nintendo Switch theme. Personally, I like this one. I'll turn it up a little bit. I got the sound kind of down because I'm usually multitasking. Now you'll hear that I actually added my own music to the introduction screen. I better turn it down because, every time I put the Pink Panther theme, I get, a copyright. So you can add your own songs. You can actually add your own loading screen, which is really awesome. So that's all I got to say about this one. Again, you can purchase this at AliExpress. I used to have it at Amazon. I don't think it's there anymore. Last time I just checked. And again, this is late August of 2024. So it may come back, but yeah, your best bet is AliExpress. So, all right, and next up we have another handheld game console. Now this is the R36S. You can see I got a case for it. Didn't come with it. Just to let you know, a lot of these cases you'll see here didn't come with it. I had to purchase them separately. Now this one is comparable to the RG. Which one is it comparable to? Yeah, the RG351MP. But this one is a lot cheaper. Now it's not made by Anbernic, but it works just as well. See this pretty cool case I got? I got these off of eBay, these cases, by the way. So go ahead and grab this out. Okay. Now you can get a look at this here, and you can see it's a little bit different than the last one. You've got your D-pad, you've got your start and select button, this menu button here. You've got two controller knobs, 4 buttons, and 4 shoulder buttons. On this side, you've got your power button. You've got the reset button. You got 1 slot here for an SD card. You've got the other SD card here and the volume on this side. Okay, so let's go ahead and start it up. Okay, so as you can see, just like the other one, I use Arcos as the front end emulator. Arcos is the best. I'm be honest with you. And again, like the other one, do not use... All right, let me turn it down a little. Do not use the stock SD cards or the stock software. And again, in Javi's video that I'm going to link, I'm turn it down a little bit further. Again, you can add your own music, but I got a couple different ones in here. Channel, you see that Amstrad CPC, Channel F, Capcom, Capcom 2, Capcom 3, MAME 2600. So several of the same ones that I've had in the other, except for I added Jaguar. I've got a couple other different ones in here, like Wander Swan. Showing for the different ones. Satellite View, that's really cool, and it does work. Super Nintendo. Okay, so just trying to see if there's anything. Game Boy Advance, DS, SG-1000. Okay, I'm just seeing if there's. Oh yeah, Sega CD, and yes, it does work on this. It doesn't work on the other. I'll explain why in a moment. So yeah, you got several of the same that I have in the other one. I have MSX and MSX2 separate on this one. Video pack. I got the Pico Ooze box, and yes, it does work on this. It doesn't work on the other. It never did, though. And I'll discuss the Ooze box itself in a later episode when I get into what it is and what's on it. Then you have your options. Okay, RetroArch. All right, so this one I didn't really customize in a great detail because I'm probably going to give this to my best friend. But it's got several different stuff in it. It works about the same as the other. The sound is actually a lot better and more and crisper in this one, I would say. Now, one of the drawbacks from this, because this one is significantly cheaper than the last one, and this is a newer, and again, it's a knockoff. Not a knockoff, well, I guess you could say a clone. A knockoff sounds so negative, but the price on this is really good. Again, this is at AliExpress. Every time I go on there, the price is going down. It's like, instead of going up, the price seems to go down. Last time I checked, it was like $30, which is really awesome. One of the drawbacks, though, again, when you get the price change, is it does not have built-in Wi-Fi. You have to actually purchase one of those plug-in Wi-Fi devices, and you have to get an adapter too. But all that stuff is available on AliExpress, and believe it or not, it'll cost you less than $10. So when you plug that in, you connect your home Wi-Fi, and you can, scrape just like in the other one. I'll show you what the scraping kind of looks like. Same thing. On mine, I just use screenshots for when I scraped them, because the box art and stuff like that takes up a lot of space, especially when you've got thousands of games. That's space you could use for games. So that's why I don't, some people like to put videos and box art and all kinds of stuff. I don't. Okay, now, one important thing I've noticed, the difference between this one and the last one, once you get Arcos set up and you've got it customized to how you want, do you update the system or not? I would say probably no, because when I updated the system on the 351V, some games and some emulators stopped working. So with this one, I didn't update it. I just left it as is. And, I'd say more games and systems work better on this than they do on the previous one. Another thing, though, I noticed is that I had a hard time using two discs, two SD cards. I don't know why, it just wouldn't read the other one. I followed all the instructions of different videos, so everything is on the same SD card, the system stuff and the games and drivers and all that stuff. And it works fine because I have a large SD card in here. So I think it can go up to 256, but it works fine. And a lot of these games, these classic games, don't take up a lot of space until you start getting into like, Dreamcast and stuff like that. And then these aren't too bad. The Sega CD, and the reason I put that on there is because my best friend just loves his Sega CD. So some of the, like I said, most of these game files aren't big now. The PS1 and PSP game files are a little on the big side. And I've really had them run fine. I've put foreign games on here, and they work great. So if you want more bang for your buck, this is definitely one to get. And again, it's at AliExpress. Now, when you look at the video that I've linked that Javi made, he explains how to go through step by step, how to customize it, how to get the drivers in, how to get Arco set up, and he goes step by step. He's very user friendly. He takes his time, and so that's why I'm going to link that video. He didn't ask me to. I just know that it worked well for me, and I think it would work well for anybody that would like to set this up and get the most out of their device. So, all right, well, that's about it for this console. Like I said, it's very similar to the last one, just got a few more bells and whistles, and like I said, it's a lot less expensive. All right, and next up we have the Atari Flashback Portable. And again, you can see I got my own box for it, the own case, because it doesn't come with one. But this one's really nice. This case is cool. I got this I believe I actually got this one on Amazon for a really good price. All right, so there we have it. God, I love that orange color. It kind of goes with the orange buttons on the machine. All right, now, this one is cool because it's expandable, which is awesome. And it comes with quite a few games already, but you can actually expand it. You just get one of these, and it has to be an 8 gig it has to be an 8 gig SD card. Do not get any bigger because it won't work. Some people I've seen videos where people did get it to work, but I've tried and it doesn't. So just go with the 8 anyway, because Atari games are not that big. Okay, so let's go ahead and start it up. Now, well, let me show you real quick. So it's got the power button down here, earphone jack. You have your typical Atari buttons, start, select. You got your difficulty buttons, reset and start also here. I don't know why you have them. This is the left and right. Left and right difficulty. And you have the color and TV. And if you've played Atari games, you understand. On the top here, you have, actually, is that 2 of them? What is that? Anyway, yeah, it's like 2 jacks. Okay, you got your charging spot here, and it does use it doesn't use the C, it uses the B. Volume. Label on the back, you got your battery pack in there. Again, this is the SD card slot, so let's start it up. Okay. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Oh, there it goes. Sorry. All right. Now you can see this one I have, the screen is a little scratched. I got it used. So you have all these different games built in. You can see it's got quite a collection here of games. Quite a nice collection. You got some prototypes in here. You got classic games. You got a couple homebrews. So not bad. All right, now what about, here we go. Let's look at the SD card. Okay. It's loading. All right, so I put in several of my own, games I wanted to play. Like, if you just want to go right into this as opposed to checking out the stock games, I put quite a few. You can see I got some. Here we go. You got some pretty rare ones there, like Birthday Mania. That is, of course, many of you know the story for that. But I got a nice mix here of some demos, prototypes, and stuff like that. Okay, now let's just grab one, show you what the screen looks like. Okay, so playing Defender. You can see it's not bad. Now the screen is not the brightest. Oops. Kind of hard to do this and play and do this at the same time. You can see the screen isn't like really bright. And, you know, it's kind of, the screen itself is kind of small, but, you know, it's really not that bad. Okay. So, anyway. I forgot how to get back out. All right, give me just a second here. I'm going to have to edit this. I don't remember how to get out of this. Ah, that's right. Start and select at the same time. Sorry about that. Yeah, these two start and select at the same time will take you back out. So you can go back to the thing. All right, so other than the really small screen that you can see here, there are a couple downsides to this. One is... Okay, one, there are no updates. This thing can't connect to the internet, so there are no way to update the, you know, the drivers or anything. Like I said, not the best picture, especially when you compare it to the last two devices that you could easily play all these games on. You know, and worst of all, I mean, the worst part about this, it does not play larger or modern games. Yep, so any of those great games by John Champeau or Thomas Jench aren't going to work. They won't even, like, load. And the worst part is, let me show you my all-time, you've been watching me for a while, you know what. Okay, here we go. Pursuit of the Pink Panther. Nothing. Nope, it says it's loading, but nothing happens. Yeah, so bigger games, more modern games do not work. Which, again, is too bad that they don't work on here. Okay, another bad thing, this is out of print. I don't think they're manufacturing this anymore because, you know, Atari has a lot of new projects like the 2600 Plus. So this is not working anymore. They're not manufacturing it. I should say it's not working. But they're not manufacturing this anymore, which has made it a little on the collectible side. So... getting a brand new one will cost you a little bit of money. I think I saw them for $200 on Amazon, but they go pretty reasonably on eBay. I think I paid like $20, maybe $30 at the most with shipping for this. So, honestly, unless you're a collector, I would not recommend getting this. I think it'd be better for you financially to get one of the previous systems, and you can get all these same games on there. You can put all these ROMs on that device I just showed you. And if some of them don't work, because sometimes I had trouble with some of the more modern games not working, you can easily change the settings in the device and say, well, okay, you can change the emulator and then all the games will work. Pursuit of the Pink Panther, like John Champeau's Mappy, they will work. This one, there's nothing you can do. It can't, like I said, it can't be updated. It doesn't have any new drivers you can download. Like for some devices, you can download a driver and then plug it in the top and then it'll update it. This one doesn't have that function. So honestly, I would not recommend this one for anybody unless you're, like I said, a collector. You'd be better off with the last two and just putting the Atari 2600 games in those devices. All right, and next up we have the McDonald's handheld Tetris. Now, this is an extra bag that I think you could have got in China. Now, let me tell you the story behind it real quick. This device was created to celebrate the anniversary of the McNugget, and it was only released in China. So let me show it to you. Yep, you can see it right here. Pretty cool device, actually. I love it. I love the design. It's really cool. Now, when you purchase it, it does come with this. It's got instructions, which are all in Chinese, but you can figure it out. Then it comes with these cool stickers that you are encouraged to put on the device to customize it yourself. It comes in this really cool little box. Love it. Now, I bought this extra. I don't know if this was, I think this was another premium that you could purchase when you bought this at a McDonald's in China. I bought this separately, got it on eBay. Really nice. I mean, I did not know how big it was. I thought it was, you could only put I thought it was big enough just to put this in, but I can fit the whole thing in there comfortably. And it's got, well, let me give it, okay. It's got these, over this strap so you could wear it over your shoulder if you wanted to. I just like the design of it, you know, even though I'm not going to walk around with it like that. I really do like the design. It's really nice. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start up the device. Turn it on. Okay. Then let's hit the start button. Okay. Turn the sound up. Okay, so you've got your typical, let's go ahead and start. Okay, here we go. All right. There we go. Okay, so you've got your typical buttons. Now, you do have the fast drop, which is nice. See? You got that fast drop. Now, some versions of Tetris don't have that. But it's really nice to have it. So, it runs the controls are very, controls are very responsive. You have the fast, like I said, you have the fast drop. And you have the spin here on the side. Really fun. I mean, it's Tetris, so it's going to be... So anyway, really is worth getting. I really think if you're a Tetris person, the battery life on this is surprisingly really good. I've been really impressed with it. So, here we go. So that's pretty much it. Just your standard game of Tetris. I'll go ahead and turn that off. All right, now, this one, like I said, was only released in China. And you can get it on eBay for a very reasonable price, as of this recording. I think I paid like maybe 20 for it. 25. The average price about 25, 30, whatever. It was brand new in the box. It hadn't even been used, so I was very happy about that. So if you're a Tetris person like me, yeah, I recommend getting it. It's kind of cool. It's a cool little novelty thing to have. You get this extra case. Again, it's sold separately. I was able to find it for a pretty reasonable price, but it's a nice gift, especially for someone who collects McDonald's stuff like I do, or somebody that just loves Tetris. Like I said, it's a great novelty gift for somebody. And, you know, for collectors, it's awesome. Like I said, I love the design, though. The design on this is just so cool. But like I said, grab it now before it does become hard to find. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it. All right, and our final device for today. Now, again, check out this custom case. Really nice. I got that from some gentleman on eBay. And our final one for today is the handheld Oregon Trail. Look at that, how that protects it. Very nice. Very impressed with this. Okay, the handheld Oregon Trail. Here we go. All right. Now, this actually is the Oregon Trail from the Apple IIe. So the Apple IIe version. So it runs it's got all these other buttons on here, you know, like for moving around. You can see you have the four-way, then you have like the corner for when you when you're hunting, sound, wagon, yes, no, enter, because you're gonna have to type some stuff in. So okay, all right, so it's just like the game. Many of you have played it. Now, I had a video I did a while back where me and the puppets went on a trip and we made it to Oregon and nobody died. So it's just like the regular game. You know, you find out, you pick your player, and then you put your name in. So and again, like I said, nice picture. Only bad thing I'll say there's a few drawbacks though. One, the screen is kind of small, so it's kind of hard. You got to kind of get close there to see. You can see, you kind of got to get close to it. So, I mean, you're basically playing a computer game on a handheld device. That's not a computer. The screen can be kind of dark too. If you have vision problems, it may, be a little hard for some people. But this is about the only way you're going to do it. Now, the first device, actually the second device I had, said that you can play Apple II games on it. I haven't tried because I haven't really had good luck with some of the computers. Commodore 64 works perfectly though. But so again, you can just put the name. So you're basically playing a computer game on a small little device. That window is about 3 by 3. Like I said, the battery life on it is great. I mean, it's essentially, like I said, it is the Apple IIe version of this game. So, which would probably be, oops, let me turn it off. Sometimes it's a pain to shut off. Let me see if that did it. Yep. That also serves as the reset button. But other than that, it works really well. You got the sound. Like I said, it's good sound. It's a little on the bulky side, but you got a lot of stuff that you got to put in there, to get this to run. So I would recommend this to give to somebody who loved Oregon Trail and maybe they don't have a computer or don't have an Apple IIe emulator, or a game to give to the kids, especially, teenage kids that when we were kids, or I should say me and most of the people that watch my videos were young, we played this game in school and we loved it. And I don't know how many people actually made it to the end. As a kid, I never did. As an adult, I have. But this, like I said, this would be a good game to give to kids, like on long car rides. Get your head out of your phone and try this out and see how far you get. So, okay, now as far as availability, this I believe also is not being manufactured anymore. If you go to like Target.com and Walmart, they're listed, but they're out of stock. So about the best place you're going to get it is probably on eBay. And it's not very expensive. I think I paid like $20 for this. It was about a year or so ago. I looked in this, and the prices are still good. Unfortunately, like I said, it's going to probably become collectible within the next few years because I don't believe they're manufactured anymore. A couple years ago, I saw it for sale at CVS. They had a whole bunch of them, but they're not there anymore. So if you are thinking about getting this, I would get it now before it does become highly collectible. I guess I have a lot of fun playing it. I had a lot of fun playing Oregon Trail as a kid, and it's kind of neat to have it on this. But as I told you, you can play Apple IIe games easily on a modern computer with an emulator, with that WinApple, I believe it's called, and it works just great. So, which is what I used for the video. So that's about all I got to say about this. About this handheld. Like I said, get it now before it becomes collectible, and build and share your memories of this game with the younger people in your lives.
In our next episode, I'm going to review the AtGames Legends Gamer Pro. Well, that brings this episode of Classic Gamer 74 to a close. I know it was a long episode, but I hope you guys got a lot out of it and will purchase some of these handheld games or consoles that I discussed. If you did enjoy this episode, let me know by giving me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to click that little bell icon down there so you'll be notified when I upload any new material. Connect with me on all my social media platforms. Check out my new online radio station where I play only the best hard rock and heavy metal. Check out my Patreon page where you're going to find some stuff that you will not find anywhere else on my channel. Well, until next time, this has been Anthony Gamer. Have yourselves a great week. And until next time, be strong, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and above all, take care of each other, be kind to each other, and stop hate of all kinds. See you soon. Bye for now.